First tonight in Maples Pavilion history, ACC Women's Basketball League play, as a red-hot Florida State squad comes to the Forum to take on a Stanford team coming off a heartbreaker at Clemson. With that, we bring you inside Maples Pavilion, joined by Zena Queta. Greg Meskel here with you. Zena, this Stanford team, it's been a tough start to the new year. They've lost 5 of their last 6, 0 for 3 in conference play. They're thrilled to be back home.
And when you think about why they lost those games, their offense was not clicking. Stanford was shooting under 40% from the floor in those 4 games that they've lost, and they need to be back home on their home court with some familiarity to get their offense going.
Now, one way they can find an opportunity to defeat Florida State, a dynamic duo, Nunu Aguera and Elena Bozgana. They've played well together.
Nunu Aguera is such a skilled post player. When she gets the ball in the high post, she's got the ability to attack her defender or see her teammates around her. And then Elena Bozgana, she's someone that came in as the leading scorer, returning to the team and also bringing that veteranship. She can shoot outside, she can attack the paint, and she's got some length on her on defense.
And then we'll say, not enough people are talking about Florida State, one of the hottest teams in the country, one of the most lethal offenses, powered by the leading scorer in the nation, Tanaya Latson.
Crazy to think that Tanaya Latson is averaging 28 points a game. She is a walking bucket that no one's talking about. She is an elite downhill scorer. When she gets her eye on the prize, being the bucket, you got to get in front of her or else you're finished. She's a great finisher at the rim.
On the scouts' radar for the WNBA, has next level potential and then some. Excited to see what she and the Seminoles can do tonight. Here's a look at some of her recent work. Put a 40-piece on Virginia Tech, and that's just the tip of the iceberg for one of the best in the business.
With Tanaya Latson, the whole key about getting her to stop is to try and push her outside. Her three-point shot has improved over the course of her career, but that's really where she has a little bit of struggle. Inside the paint, she can do whatever. She's very crafty, very shifty, and is very creative of being able to get into the defender's body and finishing through contact.
And we are underway. Florida State and Stanford Seminoles control. And shooting from long range. We told you about their offense at the top. They look to cash in immediately. That was Brianna Turnage. No dice. And now we'll see Stanford for the first time on offense. Let's look at the Cardinal starting 5. You know about Aguera and Bozgana, but a change last time out. Ijiwoye, Flaherty getting opportunities. Coach K. Pay liking the spark those two bring. Florida State, meanwhile, as advertised, Latson her first bucket of the night. They're ahead early, 2-0.
Stanford is going to have to track Latson in transition. She runs fast and she picks up the ball and can score quickly.
Cardinal try to get Aguera engaged down low. And now Florida State on the attack, launching from 3. Good back tap there, able to keep it alive. As this is the starting group. You know about Latson, KK Timpson, Michaela Timpson, such a force defensively. Here's Turnage firing, that's well off the mark.
You notice Dimitri was way in the paint to help out on Michaela Timpson. You can leave the Florida State shooters open when you know they're not a threat. That's great defense there by Florida State to get the ball turned over.
Here's a look at the head coach. It's a coaching matchup of alums. Kate Pay, the former Cardinal in year 1, taking over for the legend Tara Vanderveer. Pressure there will stay down this end. As we mentioned, Stanford, a struggle to start ACC play. This is their worst start in league play. You got to go all the way back to the mid-'80s. Tara Vanderveer's first year leading the Cardinal. Triple try there from Gordon. Bozgana, nice drive, spots Aguera. That's what Stanford's trying to do.
This is exactly what Stanford can capitalize on. Elena Bozgana being able to attack her defender. Nunu Aguera positioning herself well in the paint. Easy 2 points for Stanford.
Latson directing traffic. Timpson draws a double. And now we'll see a violation against Florida State. Camped out in the lane too long, 3 seconds.
Again, Nunu Aguera being able to show her two-way ability, scoring on one end, and then making things difficult for Timpson on the other end, staying in front of her down low.
A 1-2 punch for Stanford. They are double threats every time they take the court. Already tough drive there. Florida State now. Quick the other way. And a miscue. Just a pass into the backcourt looking for Gordon. The pace here, Zena, frenetic to start.
And this is what FSU likes to do. They like to run in transition. They want to score early before defenses have the opportunity to get set. It makes sense. You don't want to go up against set defenses. You want to be able to get things going early. So definitely expect this to keep going fast.
Aguera puts her head down, but is turned back by Timpson.
And this
That's
is
her calling card.
Timpson leading the country with blocks. This is what she does. Times it perfectly on defense.
Turnage, she's been looking for that 3-ball. Unable to convert just yet. Florida State 0 for to start things off. 0 for 4 from downtown.
Dimitri knows her scout. Turnage shoots 32% from 3. Not someone you really want to push up on.
A little backdoor there to Clardy on the baseline. Had a clean look. Just coming up short. Shooting the basketball is something Stanford wants to get better at. They've had a handful of sub 40% field goal outings. They've got to clean that up. Meanwhile, just launching Carla Villegas with a defender in her face. No problem.
You could tell from the very first shot she took, she likes that contact in front of her. I mean, that was an amazing shot. Villegas with a quick release.
5-2 start for Florida State. Can Stanford answer? They can from downtown. The 3-ball for Bozgana.
Elena Bozgana matches with her own quick release, but great offense to be able to collapse the paint, move the defense, and get something open for Elena.
She's had double-doubles in 3 of her last 4. Florida State right back. Again, they are going to score in bunches. Omaria Gordon, the senior from Sarasota. This team averages just under 95 points per game. Whew. Exactly. Dimitri answering.
But then they're answered with the 3rd leading 3-point team in the country, Dimitri Bozgana. I mean, when they unleash that 3-point shot and it comes easy, that's when they can win from beyond the arc.
Turnage had all day and an air ball. Aguera running the floor, the catch and the finish.
Great finesse, being able to go up with 2 feet and go over KK Timpson. That is quite the finish for Aguera.
Had a shot turned back earlier, now finding her pacing going up against the shot blocker, the 6'2 Timpson. Floater here. All net for Omaria Gordon.
OMG, as she's called. Great pull-up in the midi range. Like, nice little floater game over there.
A travel. Aguera looks down at her feet in disbelief, but is called for steps. See changes on both sides here.
Watch
Take
this.
a second look.
Ijiwoye being able to move some defense, causes the defense to look to her to try and stop the ball, and what happens? Leaves a 3-pointer open, and Bozgana don't want to leave this team open, Greg.
Not with the way they can shoot the basketball. Same story on this end, the way Florida State can score. Here's Ladson, crossover, step back, 3-ball, back rim.
Great defense from Ijiwoye just to be able to stop her, bump her a little bit, and force her to get that 3-point shot up.
Florida State has brought on Sydney Bowles, the Texas A&M transfer, one of their key pieces off the bench. Stanford's gone with Mary Ashley Stevenson, the Purdue transfer. Kate Pace said pregame looking for more out of Ashley Stevenson, and a good dish to Bozgana, who's fouled. So a foul as we hit our first timeout. Stanford weathers that initial storm from Florida State. They're up early, 10-9. We'll step aside. Welcome back to Maples. One of the big storylines tonight, you know all about Florida State's offense, Zena. They're also proud of the way their defense has stepped up.
That was one of the things in talking with the Florida State coaching staff prior to the game. Tenaya Latson wanted to get better with her defensive output, especially looking at the fact that she's looking to get to the next level. The scoring's taken care of. She's absolutely capable of getting to the rim, finishing over defenders, but it's not, now it's about being able to stop defenders, and she is so fast. She can be able to get in front of the drivers. She can get in passing lanes. She's got active hands. definitely a two-way player capable of playing on the next level.
There's a look at Florida State head coach Brooke Wyckoff talking about players that were next-level athletes, a star at Florida State, and then went on to a nice career in the W.
And also a nice role model for one of my old college teammates. Whitney Wyckoff was my teammate at Yale and definitely took after her sister, Brooke Wyckoff. Didn't get the height, though. Didn't quite get the height, but definitely got it.
Pumped you brought that up again. Ijiwoye, the leak out, the finish.
And this is how you can beat a Florida State team, by running at their pace, particularly in transition. Ijiwoye is so good at getting out quickly. Small target, but fast feet.
Florida State, they keep firing. Can't convert there. Cardinal looking to run. Latson picking the pocket. Cookies in the backcourt. Up for the lefty layup, all good.
Just as I mentioned, quick hands can get in pockets, pick them, and just be able to go the other way, especially at the top of a defense.
K-Pay well aware of what Latson brings to a ball game. Said you're not really going to stop her. You have to play team defense, try and slow down this entire group, knowing what a devastating scorer she can be. Bozgana right down Main Street.
This is a special element of Bozgana's game, is not only is she a threat outside, which forces defenses to step up on her, when she gets defenses in front of her, as a foul is called, blocking foul there, called on Stanford. When she gets a defender in front of her, she can go. Quick first step.
Here's a look at the resume. Shout out to the Wyckoff family. You mentioned playing with her sister. 26th overall pick. 2001 draft, and much like K-Pay, such pride in the program that they played for collegiately, now getting a chance to lead. I've been an interim coach and now has the head job. Air ball there, so Florida State now 1 for 9 from three-point land.
This is not a good three-point shooting team. Their bread and butter is getting into the paint, so you're seeing Stanford smartly play off of that.
Nudu Aguera stepping out, just her 10th main triple on the year, and buries it.
If you've never heard the term point forward, Aguera definitely is giving you a showcase of what that looks like. Being able to take the rebound, go the other way, shoot outside, and finish inside as well.
That pass almost intercepted instead. Bozgana off target after Latson couldn't convert. End-to-end action. If you like offense, you've come to the right place. These teams want to go. The kick, Valenzuela, that rattles out. Well, shooters are going to shoot here, Zena. They're not stopping.
Shooters going to shoot, and they're going to wait until they get it. But, I mean, Latson giving up her shot to get that for her teammates. I mean, this is another part of her game, being able to create and play make as well.
Tess Heel has come on, goes hard to the hoop, and free throws coming. Tess Heel, someone that had to accept a bench role. She had been a starter up until last game at Clemson. K-Pay feeling they need a little bit of a spark here, had to change things up. They were getting off to slow starts over and over again. But she made it clear they're still going to need people like Tess Heel.
And this is what she can do incredibly well, as you saw in that replay, being able to pound the ball into defenders and finish with some contact. She's sturdy. She is a sturdy guard, and several of their out-of-bounds plays are set up for her to be able to go into defenders, going across the paint, using her dribble to be able to create some contact, and then go up.
Transfer from Santa Clara from Australia, was the West Coast Conference Newcomer of the Year last year, so brought a big offensive scoring punch to Stanford, just down the road from Santa Clara.
Incredibly mature player that can see the floor well.
Pull up here. And just short. It's been a tough start here for Florida State, and now Stanford looking to go in a hurry. That's an offensive with the off arm. Bozgana taking out Florida State and Bowles.
I know the crowd doesn't quite like that, but it's the right call. You saw Bozgana running in transition, using her momentum to get to the basket. She didn't need to put that shoulder into her defender. She had already had her beat. She's probably going to get fouled from behind, so it's a good call by the refs.
Double team, no problem for KK Timpson, the former All-ACC freshman team select and All-ACC conference pick.
Another steal for Florida State, created off of being in the passing lanes.
Gordon, coast to coast, that's what they want to get back to.
Correct. Want to run this team. They don't want to have offense when a defense is set. Defense into offense, this is what Florida State is known for.
Meanwhile, if you're Stanford, you have to love the 21-point start here after some of those slow starts. They got down in one of their prior losses, 10-0. Here's Bozgana. Oh, swatted away. Big stuff from Timpson.
Timpson's timing on this block. Watch this defense to offense. Once again, OMG, Amaria Gordon takes it all the way, finishes with a pretty bucket, and then watch this block. Timpson with the perfect timing and the help side defense. Man, unbelievable athleticism out of her.
Closing in on 50 blocks on the year. Foul there on the perimeter. A bump from Gordon as Bozgana was trying to go to work.
First personal, number 3, Amaria Gordon.
You watch the first few minutes of this game, though, you'd be hard-pressed to think Stanford isn't the team that scores 90-plus a game. They were looking to go from the opening tip.
And they're also not a team that puts up a lot of field goals quickly. They average around the 60 mark per game. And at this pace, they're going to be way past that. I mean, you have to match the intensity, though, of your opponent. And Florida State is going to come in here running fast, getting shots up. And that's what and that's what Stanford is matching right now. You're seeing them match the energy.
Aguirre returns for Stanford. Florida State has turned to Avery Treadwell, the sophomore from Knoxville. She's come on. Bozgana in trouble. And they call a 5-second violation. Couldn't find someone in time, and a turnover.
Just as much as Florida State can be an offensive powerhouse, they can be a defensive dominant team. They'll make you feel rushed. They'll make you feel uncomfortable. And just like in that out-of-bounds play, Elena Bozgana not being able to see her teammates.
Florida State team 23-11 a year ago, lost in the first round of the NCAAs to Alabama. They have bigger ideas this year. Good drive there from the Cal transfer, Amaya Bonner. And now Heel. Swings it out, Dimitri, left alone. Bozgana fighting hard.
Bozgana doing everything right now for Stanford. This is what she can do too, get on the offensive glass. Nunu Agara and Bozgana are known for that. Last game having 4 offensive boards and then Bozgana having 2. Elena is adding to just extra points for Stanford.
She's got 9 thus far already as Latson hits on the other end, somehow finding the basket. Bozgana back to her. An excellent dish, corner pocket. Stanford not there. They've been pretty good from 3 though. 3 for 6 thus far. Final moments here in a fast-moving first quarter, to put it mildly.
It's a track meet out here right now, Greg.
We'll need to hydrate after this one.
Right.
5 seconds to go. Latson. Latson with 2, with 1, fading. Not there. And Stanford, after a host of slow starts, they're back home and comfortable, dealing with one of the best scorers, the leading scorer in the country. The Cardinal trying to slow down Tanaya Latson. So far, so good through the opening stanza. They're up 23-17. Zena, Stanford's got the 3rd best 3-point field goal percentage in the country, and they're showing it here with the deep ball.
They're moving the ball. They're including their teammates. They're seeing the floor, making great decisions, as you see here. Every single 3-ball that they've had has been off a cross-court pass, zipping it, putting it in the right place for the shooters.
And they spread the wealth. 11 different Stanford athletes have knocked down a 3-pointer. As we're back to it here.
Assist count 6-1. This is exactly what Stanford wants in terms of incorporating their teammates in their offense as they turn the ball over there.
Stanford right now leading the turnover edge. Fans wanted to travel. Instead, a miss off the window. And Bozgana, who seems to be everywhere right now in this first half, corrals that one. Stanford, meanwhile, 8 turnovers thus far. Just 2 for Florida State.
It's not only offense that she's helping on, it's cleaning the glass. She's making sure that FSU is getting one and done opportunities.
She'll probably have a double-double by halftime. That was her 9th rebound, and now she's in the double figures in points with 11.
And her 3rd offensive rebound. Again, Elena Bozgana is doing everything on both sides of the ball to keep Stanford in the lead.
And by halftime, I meant in about 3 seconds. So she's 1 rebound away. There's a block. Dimitri says no.
KK Timpson isn't the only one able to get up. Dimitri has wonderful hands and also great length and size.
Brooke Dimitri, the 6'3" senior out of Mater Dei. Turns that back. Oh, big contact and a blocking foul. E.G. Woye got the worst of that.
Wow. E.G. Woye known for being able to stay in front of defenders. Let's look at it really quickly. She moves her feet. Let's look at it from this angle. Yeah, not quite in front of Amari Gordon. I think that's why the blocking call was foul. You could see that her left foot was still dragging in front of Gordon for it to be a clean charge.
And Gordon responding with just the second three-pointer for Florida State here in the first half.
And again, out of bounds play. That's where the Florida State Seminoles have been able to find some success.
Dimitri left alone. Florida State had to shake off some poor shooting in the first half in their win over Syracuse. Came back, played well in the second half. So might be in a little bit of a similar scenario here with the way they've shot the three-pointer. They go down low, and it's KK Timpson on the interior.
Timpson being able to take her time in the interior, be able to turn in, pivot in, find how she wants to attack Aguera, and then go at her, get to.
Dimitri sneaking open backdoor and converts.
Aguera at the top of the post has great vision, being able to see any of her guards cutting in.
Nobody picks up Latson until the last moment, and she drives right to the hoop, drawing the foul.
Watch this turnover, quick jab step, boom, 2 points. Really quick, simple, efficient moves. And then Aguera finding Brooke Dimitri as she cuts in. I don't know how you lose track of Dimitri. She's a big body to follow, yet she has done amazing this season just on those backdoor cuts and finding herself open under the basket.
Here's Latson, the AP National Player of the Week. That one rattles out. ACC Rookie of the Year as a freshman. All-tourney pick a year ago, has just racked up the awards. Opening few minutes here, second quarter, Heel. The kick out, it works. You talked about it. The way Stanford's moving the basketball, it's resulted in great looks.
And it starts with Nunu Aguera getting the ball in the high post. She has three options. Look for a guard that's on the outside to kick out to, her own shot, or, as Florida State misses there, or being able to find a cutter under the basket. This play continues to work because of the versatility of Aguera.
Again, drive and kick. Is this a replay? Not this time. Heel left all alone. Again, a dangerous shooter.
High arc on that shot by Tess Hill, but here we go. Aguera taking her own dribble, but what does that do? Calls the defense in, opens it up for a teammate in the corner. Easy 3 points.
Stanford sharing the basketball, hitting on 44% of their three-pointers, 50% from the field. Now Heel gets in close.
She's very methodical, Heel. She'll take her defender, very slow dribble, quick dribble, whatever it is, she'll take her time.
Gordon getting the step, couldn't finish. Timpson blocked, and then a whistle. Will go against Valenzuela.
That time, Nunu Aguera had mirrored the move of KK Timpson. Watch this, hand straight up, being able to block. Actually got her on top of the head after the block as well.
Thought they might have got a foul call there. You know,
yeah.
Timpson wanted something. Stanford in front, 32-23. They've led by as many as 10. Tough sledding here on the drive for Courtney Ogden. Coughs that one up, taking care of the basketball. One of the things you can imagine Coach Pay will address here. That's the 9th turnover. Florida State continues to misfire. Now 2 for 13.
Hey, I admire their confidence. You got to get that shot going, so hey, you can't stop shooting it, and you have to do it until the defense respects you.
And we've seen it time and again, right? You change ends at halftime, and suddenly all those shots you were missing, they start falling. Aguera can't hit. Good fight down low from Stevenson. Second effort, no good, and now Latson. Valenzuela, good up fake right to the hoop. And just could not convert.
And that's what Stanford's going to have to watch out for, is that second half, because a lot of these shots are shots that Florida State typically makes. Missing a lot of bunnies at the basket, things through contact. They can clean it up in the second half, but these are shots that Florida State wants to take.
Oh, great look. Stevenson to Ogden. And that'll send us to a timeout.
You get a post in the high post. What happens with Stanford? Cutter, bucket, easy. Love the footwork there to pivot and find your teammate.
Welcome back to Maples, Florida State and Stanford ACC play. So many firsts for Stanford. This is their first home ACC game tonight. As you look at the all-time series, not that many meetings, mostly coming in NCAA tournament play. They actually met last year in the Ball Dogs Classic in Nevada. That was a win for Stanford, 100-88, but typically they play in the postseason, and now they'll see a lot more of each other. Although Kate Pay told us right pregame, sometimes you only get to see one of these teams once. You kind of want to get that first match in, go back, watch the film, play them again.
This is what happens with these conference realignments. Conferences are so big, you can only play once a year.
Meanwhile, Timpson battling down low and just doesn't stop working, fending off 3 Cardinal to put that home.
She is so strong, and she's got great elbows to be able to create some space. That athleticism as well, being able to jump immediately, I mean, tough on the glass.
The back door wide open once again, this time for Brooke Dimitri.
Right now, Greg, the assist count 1 to 10. Stanford leading it. Amazing offensive work, being able to go back and forth as Tanai Latson gets a bucket. I'm shocked we're not seeing more of these. I mean, a few shots, over 30 shots, only 7 coming out of Latson. I'm expecting more pick and roll options moving forward to be able to get her in that midi spot that she loves.
Especially because it seems like Stanford isn't completely denying her the basketball. She has some opportunities and is looking perhaps to facilitate a bit more with her teammates.
Watch how Stanford plays defense on the other end in a second. They're sagging off a little bit to make the paint look unavailable.
Vazgana available and hitting.
There you go. I love Vazgana clap. After she gets her 3, she gets that clap. She's on fire right now. Just locked in, ready for her shot, feet ready.
Latson. That one just circles the hoop, and then in the backcourt, Leia Williams just trying to get out of the way.
Here we go. Help defender was too far in the paint. That's just enough window for Elena Vazgana to get that shot off.
Vazgana already over her
There's the
average.
clap.
Clap it up, 14 points. First half here. She's an averaging just under 14. Shot clock to 15, plenty of time here for Stanford.
Stevenson has Latson on her. They've got to give her the ball inside.
Shot clock to 7. Pulls her back out to the perimeter. It's Heel running out of time. At the buzzer, Heel, and 1!
This is what Heel does. Puts the ball on the deck and gets to the bucket. Watch this. Great wraparound, gets the length, gets the bucket. Slips by 2 defenders. And 1.
Now, in pro wrestling terminology, a heel is the bad guy, but they love Tess Heel here inside Maples Pavilion. Big cheer after that bucket, and now the free throw. It's good. Play.
Greg, I only know that because I watched Iron Claw, and I found that out.
That was a pretty good movie.
It was a great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
We'll do our full movie reviews at halftime. 42-27.
Watch Stanford playing defense. You see the sag off? It makes everything clogged.
Here's the give, Dimitri. A little too strong. And then a foul, trying to get that one back.
First personal number 21, Brooke Dimitri. Third team foul.
So let's dive into that a bit more. You're talking about the way Florida State is going to handle Stanford's defense. How do they adjust to the sag?
You've got to make them respect you. And that only happens, what happens when you shoot threes and you make them. But right now, every shot is wide open. Let's see if Tanai Latson hits on this one, but you don't have to You don't have to push up on your offensive assignment if they're not making shots.
Bozgana goes to work, feels the mismatch, and just a little short there. Everything else has seemingly gone her way. She has a double-double yet again. Not even halftime. 14 points, 10 boards.
Florida State is a team that thrives when they've got contact. When you're pushing up on them, you're in the passing lanes, they can get past you because they can create. If you're sagging, it makes everything look so difficult because you got to go at them to be able to get them in your face.
Turning and firing Bowles couldn't hit from three-point. And on the other end, Stevenson.
Easy mismatch. Stevenson with the big body on Latson. Yeah, give her the ball down low. That math makes sense.
Coming up on 2 minutes, they go back to Latson. So good in the mid-range. Left free. And knocks it down. Only a matter of time before Tanaya Latson gets one to go from beyond the arc. Her first three ball. She's got 12. (44-30). Bozgana, heel. We've seen the drive and kick. It's worked so well all half long. Good swing there, Bozgana.
It's great offense from Stanford. The ball went from both sides of the floor at least 3 times in that one possession.
Bowles feeling it in transition. Back-to-back triples for Florida State. And this is why shooters keep shooting.
And this is how the defense is probably going to shift coming out of Stanford, because now you got shooters heating up. You got to get a hand in their face. You can't let them have too much space, or else 3 balls are going up and they're going in.
Little mini 6-0 run here. Florida State trying to surge towards the finish as we near halftime. Aguirre took her eye off the ball for a moment. The pressure is there. The pocket is picked. Seminoles on the move. Around the way and hitting. It's Timpson, an 8-0 run.
Timpson, Latson, I mean, this entire team constantly in your face on defense. The energy's picked up. You can feel it. And when Florida State gets their defense going, that's when their offense starts to thrive as well.
Turnage trying to create another takeaway there. A little bump and a foul. As Courtney Ogden returns. Stanford had built a 17-point lead. Thanks to this 8-0 run, Seminoles right back in the ballgame.
I'm not surprised to see Brooke Dimitri come back out to try to slow down a little bit of the offensive juice that was leaking out of Florida State, because it's starting to come.
Here's Aguirre. Aerials come on. Ogden, good fight for that basketball, just couldn't get there in time. This Florida State team just 2 losses on the year. They lost at Illinois and at Tennessee. They come in to tonight winners of 5 in a row.
And that Illinois loss is probably why not many people know about how good Florida State is. It dropped them out of the rankings. They were 19th in the country earlier on this season, and since have not made it back to the top 25 AP poll, and that's why they're slept on a little bit.
Getting votes, they climbed back into the coaches poll this week at 24, so knocking on the door here. Just about a second or so, maybe less difference between the shot and the game clock as Gordon sets the table here for Florida State. Stanford will give the foul. They had some to work with here. Just the 4th team foul on Stanford. Shot clock is off now, 11.8 seconds to go in this first half. Florida State in the midst of an 8-0 run, looking for one more bucket. 5 seconds left. Gordon with 2. Gordon around the back, fading at the buzzer. OMG, indeed.
I love that. OMG. Mario Gordon, also another bucket getter on this team. It's not just Latson that can get in that mid-range, pull up, and quickly take her defender to get an easy 2. Imagine that pick and roll was coming at the end of that shot clock. Made all the sense that KK Timpson And Omari and Gordon were able to work to get that basket.
They're going to take another look and see if that one got off in time. You don't score 95 a game without having a variety of people that can fill it up. So it was close. It seemed as if, on first glance, that Gordon got that away in time, but officials are taking a look right now. Let's take a second look here. It was tight.
Back. Woo! That is a pretty move. I think she got it off.
Yeah, it looks clean.
Definitely got it off. Behind the back dribble to get your defender to stand up. And then grabs two as the ball. I mean, what a beautiful move by Mario Gordon.
Basket is confirmed.
The officials have confirmed the basket. It's good to go for Gordon. We're good to go into halftime here. Well, how about Florida State? They fall behind by 17 as Stanford has played so well, but a 10-0 run to close out the second quarter. Right back in the thick of things. We'll be back after this. Halftime here at Maples. Stanford leading Florida State. We bring it back courtside. Tina Cato, Greg Meskel here with you. Tina, you hear that phrase, a tale of two quarters or two halves. It's really not even that in this first half. Stanford had played so well, but the 17-point lead. Only to watch Florida State go on a 10-0 run. What went so well for the Seminoles late?
They picked up the intensity on defense of the Florida State Seminoles, get in passing lanes, clog the paint, being able to keep their head on a swivel as Stanford try to get the ball on both sides of the court. When that turnovers, 10 turnovers for Stanford in that first half, fueled the offense for the Florida State Seminoles. You saw them being able to score in transition, and that's what's got to be going for FSU.
Take a look back at some of those big moments from the first half. Again, it felt as if we were shot out of a cannon to open this one up. There was so much energy right out of the gate. It took each side a minute to kind of find their footing.
It did. I mean, it felt like FSU was running fast but not knowing where to go. There's a lot of shots that were put up that you weren't sure why. They weren't within the rhythm of the offense. But again, FSU is a team that likes to have their defense feed into their offense, whereas Stanford likes to be in the rhythm of their offense within the half court. So you saw both teams eventually get to those respective areas for both of their respective teams. But here we go. Tanaya Latson is going to be the focal point in this second half because she wasn't going early for Florida State. You can expect her to be in more pick and roll situations, in more situations in which she's driving, penetrating the paint, and being able to open things up for her teammates.
That Latson layup, that was 2 of the 10 points Florida State has generated off of turnovers. But Stanford, they stayed hot from beyond the arc, end up converting 5 of 12 from downtown. Credit Florida State, they really cleaned it up from where they started. 4-17 is not where they want to be, but it was 1 for 12 there for a while.
They've got a lot to clean up, though, in this half. You see that they're being out-rebounded, being just owned on the glass right now. KK Timpson is having a lot of work to do. She's got to get a little bit more team rebounding going for her team on FSU. And then also the assists. Here we go. Stanford defense sagging off in that man. Florida State is going to have to dribble up to defenders, make them pick them up, and then be able to kick and create for their teammates. Right now, everything is one-on-one. It's looking a little bit and one mixtape basketball out there for FSU, and that's not their game. They can also create and get into the paint and then open things up for their teammates overall.
Yeah, a lot of fun to watch, but not the way they want to play the game to try and come all the way back. We saw some signs of that late in the first half as they started to get going on that 10-0 run. So closing in on the start here of this second half, the Cardinal played with such energy, and if you're Kate Pay, think about the losses they've had as of late, right? Stanford, if you haven't watched the Cardinal in a couple of games, they got off to that great start and then lost at LSU in overtime. They got crushed by Cal, unexpected for Stanford given the history of those two programs. Ohio State up at the Chase Center and then deeper into league play. SMU, they dug themselves a big hole, climbed out of it, couldn't get all the way back. Clemson, some missed shots in overtime seal their fate. So all these little things they wanted to clean up, by and large, they have to be happy with the way they started this ball game.
One of the things that you can notice in every one of those losses that you mentioned, Greg, is that the Cardinal did not match the intensity of their opponent early. They allow their opponent to dictate the pace of the game. And in this one, as you mentioned, it's been a track meet from the start because Stanford's not only been able to run quickly, but they've also ran quickly within the formation of their offense, being able to move the ball quickly, being able to pass across the court quickly, being able to find ways to get to the basket through backdoor cuts quickly. But again, not coming outside of themselves. So Stanford's got to just remain poised in the way that they're running their offense and being able to get past these quick hands of FSU.
I asked Kate Pay, what does a good start look like? She said, not getting down 10-0.
There you go.
With a bit of a laugh. They accomplished that, and now can they maintain this lead with Florida State knocking on the door as we start things up in this second half. Zena Cater, Greg Meskel here with you from Maples, right inside, and a good fight there from Timpson. Second effort, Latson, that's cash.
Already handling what we talked about at the half, Greg. Florida State getting an offensive rebound, getting another opportunity out to Tanai Latson, who can hit that shot, shooting 45.5% from three this season.
And now it's a 13-0 run that spans the end of that second quarter, now into the third, and Latson has 15. Right back, Aguera.
Aguera so patient in the post, being able to look for her teammates and then realizing she doesn't have anything but got a lane to the basket.
Gordon curling around a pick and lighting it up, and just that fast. It's a three-point game, 46-43. Florida State almost all the way out of a 17-point hole as Bozgana is turned back, but will stay on this end.
Once again, Tanai Latson, big three, but it's not just her. Amaria Gordon can hit that three as well. This is what was not clicking for Florida State in the first half, and now offense is rolling for FSU.
You're seeing the big scorers do what they do, as Dimitri able to hit, but Latson now getting it going with 15, Gordon with 14, Timpson with 8. Those are their big guns on offense. They left Turnage all alone. Daring to take that shot after a tough start early. Big block, Aguera. A couple of shot blockers squaring off, and Aguera wins that showdown. Bozgana sets her feet. Ichiwoye, a blur, trying to keep that alive. Instead, here comes Gordon. The mid-range, feeling it.
You see how quick they got the ball from defense to offense, being able to get that rebound and go in transition. This is not what the Cardinals want to get going out of FSU.
Stanford comes in averaging around 76 points per game. Almost 20 less than what Florida State does. Dimitri drills it.
Big guard energy. Dimitri's always ready with her feet set to get that three ball up, and she's got a quick release.
Ape has raved about what the senior brings to this team, says she is senior captain for a reason. A big key to this whole thing is Latson couldn't hit. Turnage fighting, and Ichiwoye out of the pack. Clardy, left free. A fight for it here, Dimitri and Turnage, and the arrow will keep things down this end. Clardy was surprised to find herself that open.
Yeah, I mean, there was a defender in front of her that eventually moved on to the next assignment. You could see it came up short for her, but love the fight in Brooke Dimitri. I mean, big guard energy, can do it all inside, guarding. Really smart basketball player, making the right decisions on offense and defense.
Almost a 5-second violation. Stanford had one of these in the first half. They just get it in here. Ichiwoye swatted by Timpson. Got the step, but Timpson there to cover up.
Ichiwoye with a quick first step, but not quick enough for the bounce that comes out of KK Timpson. I mean, I don't know what I would do if I could just come off the floor that fast. And I was a shot blocker, but we weren't bouncing like that. That was amazing out of her.
It's also never a problem I've had either. So. 7:12 to go here, third quarter. Stanford holding the lead. Florida State chipping away, 51-45. They got a little closer there. They were within 3. Again, deflected out, so it stays here.
Little top of the key screen for Bozgana. All she needs is a very small window to get that shot up.
Again, struggling And a takeaway by Latson, walks the tightrope to take that back. The 11th turnover for the Cardinal. Latson, they forgot to pick her up. And fortunate that one goes off the rim, and now a tie-up, and Florida State the beneficiary.
Jump ball possession goes to the Seminoles.
I want you to look at the height differential right now out on the floor. Stanford is significantly bigger than Florida State, but it's the fight, it's the tenacity, it's just constantly being up in your grill. That is what FSU can do and make you uncomfortable on offense.
Latson has that one knocked away. Last touch off Bozgana. Ogden returns. And we'll see Stevenson check back in as well.
Mary Ashley Stevenson.
Expect Stanford to take advantage of their size differentials. Mary Ashley Stevenson is a wonderful screener at the top of the offense.
Here's Gordon. Quick hesitation dribble. Can't finish, and now Ijiwoye making her second start. Good seal off down low and a whistle.
You got to fight early with Stevenson. She gets her positioning so fast in transition, and she uses her body and her strength to push you out.
13, Carla Villegas.
Big target down low from Stanford.
New York City native. Mentioned coming over from Purdue, was the Big Ten Media Freshman of the Year at Purdue.
Mariana Valenzuela into the Seminoles.
And now Mariana Valenzuela missed all of last year with injury. Back healthy this year, the redshirt junior from Mexico. Offensive. This will go against Stanford.
Second personal number
Aguera.
3, Nunu Aguera. First team foul.
FSU can get in your grill. They'll make it hard for you to get open.
Here's Gordon. Fires that ball to Timpson. Good hands to gather that and draws a foul.
Aguera has to be careful because Valenzuela was creeping on the backside as she stepped up to help. You see this two-man defender. Look who's wide open under the basket.
And that was what Stanford was wearing out in the first half, those backdoor cuts. Led to a variety of layups early.
FSU realized that's available to them too.
Gordon. Oh, the handles. The give to Timpson. That's easy money.
The hezzy out of Maria Gordon. Stands up her defender. She's done this at least 3 times this game.
Heel. Answers with a 3.
Quick release out of all these players on the Cardinal, but Tess Heel with a beautiful rainbow shot. Coming up to the top of the arc, getting that shot off quick.
Second three-pointer of the night. Valenzuela. That's an air ball. Heel looking to push the tempo. And she has that ripped. Timpson with the takeaway to the basket. An easy 2 there for KK Timpson.
And she taps the board for emphasis. That's at the top of the key. You've got your, quote, center. Your woman in the middle getting the defense and starting the transition bucket.
The give to Heel. Ijiwoye off the mark.
She had time to think about it even.
Sometimes that's the worst part.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
Timpson now. She's been the catalyst as of late and draws a trip to the free throw line.
Second personal number 21, Brooke Dimitri. Third.
Changes coming on both sides. Free throws for KK Timpson, who has started to assert herself in this second half. Florida State battling back. Stanford hanging tough. We'll step aside and return to Maples after this. Well, Zena, it was in the hit song by Usher, OMG, that he said, "Baby, I can break you down." And we're seeing that this OMG can break down the Cardinal defense.
Yes, she can, and just like that song, she's very smooth. She's incredibly skilled. She can, pump fake with the best of them, jab step, get you stood up on the hezzy. I mean, everything you want in a package with a guard, she's got, and she's taking advantage of this. Overall, 16 points on the night, only 1 assist, okay? And she's making the ball come to her for her. Her game is coming to her for her. And that's what FSU needs right now. With Taniyah Latson kind of having a quiet night. And I say quiet night, it's been 15 points for Taniyah Latson, but Amariah Gordon definitely picking up the slack overall for the team and keeping them in this game.
And on the other side, KK Timpson able to knock down some free throws, make it a 4-point game. The FSU coaching staff talked about it pregame to have these veterans, Gordon and Timpson, 4-year seniors, to have Latson in her 3rd year. That sort of stability matters for this squad. As Bozgana, another stable piece for Stanford. The senior turns the corner.
Bozgana had her eyes up looking at Stevenson clear the paint, saw a lane, took it, 2 buckets.
Missed assignment here. Florida State has had a couple of those where they've been left alone, could not convert.
Courtney Ogden and Valenzuela fighting on the other end still.
Ogden with the step. This layup there. That was one of the pain points in some of their early ACC losses. Now Latson. Little shake, little go. And Bowles again, not there, but it's Bonner. Back home out of Fremont, California, unable to hit.
FSU starting to get on the offensive glass, getting some extra opportunities and fueling their comeback.
Exactly right. Still losing the overall rebounding battle, 37-22, but trying to make some headway there on the offensive glass, trailing just 9-7. Shot clock to 10. Here's E.G. Woye directing traffic. Tries to go up and under, and Timpson is there to clean the glass for her 7th rebound.
FSU now making Stanford's offense a little bit harder. You're starting to see them try to create in the last second of the shot clock.
Bonner from distance. E.G. Woye throws up a stop sign, trying to slow down this frantic pace. Florida State, they last led back at 5-2, so it's been Stanford for the majority of this ball game, but Seminoles working their way back in. Here's a foul.
Now something that slowed down for Stanford on offense, the passing. They're seeing some of their half-court sets not working the same way. Screens aren't getting players open and not enough backdoor cuts because Florida State has picked up on that. And now it's getting stagnant, ball sticking, a lot more dribble drive to the basket.
Spot on. They've really limited those backdoor cuts. You're also seeing Bozgana not able to operate as freely as she once did in the first half. Three minutes remaining here, 3rd quarter. Clardy. Aguera now going to work with the right.
Again, you put Aguera in the high post, one of 3 things going to happen. She's going to drive, she's going to find her teammate on a backdoor cut or on the outside. That time, pick your poison, it's a drive.
Put that shoulder down and went to work. She's the 4th Cardinal into double figures, now 11.6 boards. Kick on this end, clean look and all net. Hayani Dos Santos, who has come on, able to drill the triple.
That's a big shot for her, shooting 29% on the season. Being able to knock down that corner shot. Here's the thing once again, Amari Gordon dribbling into the paint, picking up a defender, and finding her teammate open in the corner. Ooh, big push there from Dos Santos in transition. Gotta get out the way.
E.G. Woye has taken a couple of big hits.
Yeah, she has.
This time it goes her way. It's a foul against Dos Santos, the Gulf Coast State transfer. Aguera. What a fun matchup it is to watch her and Timpson battle. Heel now with the left. Took a little bump, couldn't finish it off, but she'll head to the line.
Both Heel and Ichiweye, just tough, strong, sturdy guards. Watch this again, being able to stop on 2 feet, go up, get the contact. Ugh, couldn't quite finish, but still a great take.
Limited trips to the line really for both sides tonight. This is just the 6th free throw for Stanford. They're 6 for 6.
FSU has done a great job of cutting off drivers, finding a way to move their feet, slide, open up their hips, get to the spot, and just stop him.
Again, left alone. Other side of the court, same result for Dos Santos, the redshirt sophomore from Brazil, just coming on in this second half.
Stanford's not tracking these shooters in transition. By the time they get to the half court, that corner three is just sitting there, unbothered.
Aguera, Bozgana back at it.
Bozgana continues to find her way under the basket easily with great position to get the points. She gets up and finishes easy.
Oh, hot hand, let it fly. Back rim.
Heat check.
Bowles, what a drive. How did that go in? Aggressive take from Sydney Bowles.
Beautiful reverse layup there. Past two defenders, my God.
And it's a 1-point game, 61-60 Stanford. Dimitri, they needed it.
Dimitri again, being able to come up to the three, get her feet set, quick release. This is what she can provide for her team, not only being able to hit that shot, but also a shot that can kind of slow things down while FSU is gaining momentum.
Stanford now 8 for 19 from beyond the arc, 42%. Florida State trending upward, now 30% after a very slow start. Gordon loves that stop and go. Timpson. And that'll be a 3-second violation. They could not get rid of that basketball fast enough. Timpson camped out down low.
Look at this drive. Quick first step, reverse layup by Sydney Bowles. Great shot, and then Brooke Dimitri coming off the up screen there by Aguera. Quick, beautiful release, 3 points. This is what she can do. Big guard energy, people. I love it.
Under a minute to go in the third. That Bowles layup took some English there off the backboard.
Yeah,
that was impressive. Aguera now. Aguera right to the basket, cannot be stopped. Went right around Malaya Williams, making her return. Just her 7th game on the year, coming back from a lower extremity injury.
Aguera does such a good job of getting her shoulder so low she's in the stomach of her defender, and then explodes up to the basket.
Stanford pushing that lead back out to 6. Shot clock is off, 7 seconds left. Here's Gordon. Floats it off the window, puts it home. Final seconds here, a takeaway, and they can't get it off at the buzzer. The steal there from Williams. So Florida State continues to battle back. For the first time tonight, they outscore Stanford in a quarter, 25-22. Gets them back within 4. Buckle up. We're headed to the 4th here on the farm.
And it's a fun one, folks.
Thank you to Coca-Cola for their sponsorship.
Welcome back to Stanford, 4th quarter ahead. Cardinal hanging on to a 66-62 lead. They have taken a few big surges here from Florida State, who trail by as many as 17. They have used a 13-0 run to climb back into this game, and now they're getting close. They got within 1, could not get all the way back even. They've started to find their stroke from downtown. 4 threes in that 3rd quarter after just 1 in the first.
And a lot of those threes coming because they were left alone in the corner. You saw Dos Santos be left alone while the help was inside the paint, and Aguera muscles her way in for 2.
That's a bully ball by Aguera. Hard to the basket. She's got 15. Here's Latson. Will she try and take over? Hard to the basket and headed to the free throw line.
And Latson can do this. I'm curious who the foul is on. Tess Fielder says, okay, I wasn't sure if it was going to be on Aguera. But yes, Latson's got to get going. This is what she can do, is get into the paint. Just off of that quick first step. If FSU wants to get this lead back, it's going to happen at the hands of Latson. Whether it's going to be her getting in the paint and finishing at the rim, her getting in the paint getting fouled, or her getting in the paint drawing defenders and opening things up for the FSU offense.
Good on both of those free throws. Bring it back to 4. He's got 17 on the night. Remember, this is someone that averages almost 28 a game. Gordon leads Florida State with 18 right now.
Florida State is on, like, paint on the Stanford Cardinal right now, just everywhere.
Shot clock to 10. Heel. How'd that ball get through? Aguera, step back, deep three, and that does not draw rim. Opening minute, fourth quarter. Gordon. And Dimitri there to clean the glass.
Shots going up a lot quicker now for Florida State.
Backdoor, Bozgana, just like they remember from the first half.
It's been a while, but Bozgana read her defender well, was able to set up the back cut, and that's really important. Be able to step one way, go the other way to get your defender stood up. Great move to the basket. Great teamwork from Aguera and Bozgana.
Williams now. Tough shot there off the drive. And now Ijiwoye. Stanford knows all too well the energy it takes to climb out of a big deficit. They battled that at SMU. K-Pay talked about you spend so much energy, tough to finish it off. That's what Florida State's facing now. Dimitri, excellent ball movement, and a result in the three ball.
And that all started because Brooke Dimitri balanced the floor. She saw there's 4 players on one side with Bozgana on the other. She moved over to the wing, got a screen handoff with Aguera. Ball movement, 1-1, boom. 3-point shot.
Gordon swatted by Bozgana. The give to Williams. She can't hit. Pressure now in the backcourt. Latson trying to generate some offense via defense. Great start to this fourth for Stanford. Dimitri. Ijiwoye again on the wrong end of a collision.
I just like grabbed my mouth with how hard she just went down to the ground. That Ijiwoye is a tough. Look at her getting up with the trees and then coming down. Telling K-Pay, I'm okay. That's a tough girl right there.
K-Pay just loves what Ijiwoye brings to the team. You mentioned this is her second start of the season for the true freshman from Phoenix. Said she loves her energy. She's into it. She's preparing for this opportunity. Here's Bowles now after the giveaway. Bowles left free and hits with the right floater.
That was a pretty crossover back into the paint. Got Ijiwoye down on one knee. Just enough space for the midi in the paint.
And that will prompt a Stanford timeout. 6:46 to play here. We've talked about the handles. Not everyone can control the ball on a string for Florida State. Still battling back, down 73-66. Immediate timeout on the way. We said it at the top of the show, Stanford happy to be home. Perfect so far this year, and they have not been to Maples in some time, Zena.
Perfect at home it's a wonderful but incredibly hard record to sustain. And when teams see that on the scouting report, they come in with even more intensity. They want to come in and make sure that you don't get to defend your grounds. They want to take that from you. So you see that energy coming out of FSU, but Stanford matching it well.
K-Pay loved the last 2 days of practice for her team. A tie up here in front of the Cardinal bench.
And still, I was going to say, still tied up.
Take a minute there to untangle. Looking for that first ACC win. We talked about it earlier on. Haven't started over like this since the 85-86 season. That was the Pac West. Started 0-6, finished 1-7.
And Greg, when you're at home, this is where you practice. This is where you go through your drills. This is where you get better. This is where you make moves like that. Mariasha Stevenson using her body to get up in the defender's grill as she went to the basket. Look at this, looking for her teammates, swiping through at the basket. Ooh, I love a good big girl move. She's excited about it too.
That's a big response coming out of the timeout that Stanford called. Now a chance for a three-point play here for Stevenson.
Mary Ashley Stevenson at the line, shooting 1.
And this has just been a game of comfort when it comes to offense, at least. Stanford just being able, in every single quarter, shooting 50% or better from the floor. This quarter for FSU, after having such a great third quarter, only 20%.
Gordon steps into a rhythm three and buries it.
Mario Gordon already trying to change that percentage, but she's been doing this all night, being ready for her shot. Inside, outside, being able to take the shot inside. But you love when you can have your small guard ready for a big three.
Vazgana. And there's Latson to secure the rebound. Does Florida State have enough in the tank for one more big push?
Tonight, Latson's hops are not discussed enough. She gets up there.
Latson 17 points.
Second person on
Presumably she'll find another way to the basket, but if it were to stay here, this would be her second lowest scoring game of the season. She has broken 20 points every single game except one, the win over Jacksonville when she left with an injury and then came back in the next game. So it is very uncommon to see her not at least get 20, maybe even 30. Power stuff, spinning and winning. It's Timpson.
Michaela Timpson.
Timpson with the fancy footwork. Just gets by her defender, but then also, again, elevates to be able to finish at the rim.
Meanwhile, the 75 points for Stanford, the most they've scored since December 5th. Their loss in overtime at LSU.
Playing
Dos
to the level.
Santos. Latson. Rebound to Aguera. That was a big chance for Florida State. Ijiwoye probing that defense. Almost had it stolen. Under 5 to play, fourth quarter. The rip, Latson reading that passing lane, the intercept and the finish.
Florida State's going to stay in these passing lanes. They're going to have long arms, long tentacles, making it difficult to see your teammate. You cannot be lax on any of these passes because FSU's going to make you pay for it.
2-point game, 7-0 run for Florida State. This is what they do, get scored in bunches thanks to Latson.
14 foul.
Timeout on the floor. Tanaya Latson now with 19. She has her squad just 2 away from drawing even.
CC, a lot more eyeballs this year.
Oh, what a move! Ijiwoye
With the inside hand, again, using that quick first step to get by her defender. Man, Ijiwoye, it's a bowling ball coming down the lane.
Bowles. It's Timpson now. Fading and a foul. Stanford felt that call was late, but free throws on tap for KK Timpson.
Third person on the referee.
Aguera was shocked.
13 foul.
Let's see here. Jab step again for Timpson. Great elevation, but again, Aguera just dipping her arm ever so slightly onto Timpson. Definitely a touch foul, but with a game this close, you got to make sure that everything is clean.
Timpson just her second trip to the line. Knocks down the first. This one's coming down to the wire here. Can't get the roll there, so 1 of 2. Trims it to 3. Florida State, they have been so close to getting back in front in this one, just cannot get all the way over, and that's a credit to Stanford for taking these continual waves in the Seminoles and then finding a way through.
We even see Tanaya Latson and Ijiwoye laughing about that one. Tanaya tried to pick her pocket, and she's like, yeah, I know I fouled you. I know I got you. But expect Tanaya Latson to keep the intensity up at the top of the defense. Easy buckets when you got nobody in front of you when you're at the top of the key. She's got those quick hands, man, and tracks the ball well.
5 fouls now for Florida State, so free throws here. Stanford in the bonus, and Ijiwoye goes 1 of 2. Coming up on 4 minutes to play, 4-point game. Florida State, they've knocked down 4 of their last 5. Here's Latson, so good mid-range. Couldn't convert there. He's now 7 of 16 from the field.
She's a little off balance going up there, using her speed. Wasn't quite able to control her momentum to get the shot off cleanly.
Ijiwoye off balance and gets that one away. And again, on the court.
She goes so hard to the paint. Feels the contact, absorbs it, puts the ball up to make sure she gets the call.
There are those running backs that want to make sure they deliver the contact before the defender can deliver the contact. That's a little bit of Ijiwoye here. She will let you know she's there.
There, absolutely. You'll feel her presence coming into the paint. I would like her to be a little bit careful, though. Those falls to the ground have been tough.
Yeah, they don't sound very forgiving as she unable to hit on the first. Limited free throw opportunities, but just a 38% free throw shooter coming in. 1 of 2 again. So it's back to 5. Latson. Dangerous pass, but it finds Gordon. Latson calling her own number here. Couldn't get that to go.
And folks, don't be misled. That shot is Tania Latson's shot. Might feel like a turnaround jumper. Whoa, that's a little bit much of a game. But no, this is Tania Latson's ability to be able to get that shot off. She's just not hitting tonight. I think there's a little bit too much pressure coming from Stanford, particularly by Ijiwoye.
Yeah, Stanford was able to hold her in check somewhat in the first half, and it's continued here in the second as Dimitri continues to make important baskets for Stanford to push it back out now, 81-74.
Smart decision. Makes a quick little dribble into that short corner, elevates, and gets the 2.
Latson, double clutch, and to the free throw line. Dimitri, Vazgana, 20 points each for Stanford.
Second personal, number 20.
Dribbles into that short corner, elevates with no defender in front of her. Dimitri with the bucket, and then Tania Latson. This is a good adjustment for her game. Can't get that outside shot, get inside and get fouled, get to the line.
Latson making her way to the basket now, has 20. Florida State had a lot of success driving the basketball in the first half. When those threes weren't falling, it was pretty much drives that got them any kind of offense. Under 3 to play now. Ijiwoye turns on the Jets. Dimitri, another.
Big guard energy. Once again, being ready on the outside for that quick release.
Timpson on the give. Can't get the bounce. Ijiwoye, of course, there for the board. Dimitri, 5 for 7 from long range. Under 2.5 to play. Dimitri tried to go backdoor. Seminoles read it, but they can't hang on. Shot clock reset. Stanford can take some more time away. Really the best result there for Stanford. Steals some more time off the clock. Coming up on 2 minutes now. Shot clock still to 10. Timer to 6. Dimitri, pump fake, step back. Off the rim. This place was ready to explode if she had knocked down her her 6th 3 and her 2nd in a row.
Dimitri just consistently moving all across the floor to find open shots.
Timeout called by Florida State. They have gone cold. No field goals over the last 3:04 as we'll keep things here. And, you know, that's been the question over the fourth quarter here. Does Florida State have enough left to make one more push? It has to start now with 1:47 left.
I imagine Tania Latson and Mario Gordon are going to find a lot more opportunities to take advantage of this defense. But look at Brooke Dimitri, again, finding her way around the perimeter as her teammate is driving into the paint. Ijiwoye needs a kick out. Brooke Dimitri is there. On that last one, she missed the 3. But Brooke Dimitri, again, Ijiwoye needed a release valve. Dimitri's creeping behind her, open for the 3. This is a smart basketball player making great moves, making the right decisions out on the floor.
.147 to play here, and all the issues that Stanford was battling coming into tonight, they've been able to address a lot of them. We talk about the way they shot the basketball, a lot of sub 40% field goal outings. They're at 52%. A slow start, they got off to a hot start. They outscored Florida State 23-17 in that first quarter, and they have gotten so many of their teammates involved as they've put 4 in double figures.
And they've been rebounding the ball incredibly well, making sure that Florida State's get one opportunity at the basket and done.
1:40 to play here. Latson on the drive, double clutch, doesn't get the roll. Aguirre is there to secure the rebound. And they'll say a tie-up, and the arrow will keep things here.
Good for Florida State to not give up on the play there, making their hands active on the ball to get the jump ball. And now they get an extra possession.
Just about 90 seconds to play. 0 for their last 4. They need some offense and need it in a hurry. Latson off her foot, out of play. That was all courtesy of the pressure of Bazgana.
Bazgana using her length, her size to make things difficult for Florida State. Terrible timing on that turnover. Minute 32 left. Those possessions matter.
Huge, huge moment there. Full court pressure kind of fades away now. And again, Stanford with the edge here, 84-76, and looking to peel some time off the clock and be smart with the basketball. Ujiwoye with 10 on the timer. The crossover. She's got the handles. The drive. The kick. Dimitri. She knew that was going to be a short one. Tried to hustle after it. Instead, here's Latson.
1 minute remaining.
Latson drive and kick. Dos Santos from the corner. The follow from Gordon, and draws a trip to the free throw line with around 53 seconds left.
Team rebounding now in effect for Florida State. Everyone crashing the glass.
5th team foul.
Ball goes up. Amaria Gordon is right there. Gets the quick shot up just to make sure she gets the call. The shot at the line is a lot easier than anything in the paint.
Game clock is under review. Can you hear that?
Take a quick look at the clock here. Officials at the scorers table. And how about Stanford up 84-76 and doing this all while having turned the basketball over 17 times. Florida State has only turned it over 5 times. They've turned those 17 Stanford turnovers into 18 points. I probably feel like they should have gotten more offense out of that.
This is what Florida State can do, is do the defense into offense game, but with Stanford taking care of the ball in the possessions that they did, they were able to convert in a better way than Florida State was. So in the half court, Florida State was putting up a lot of
Game
shots.
Game clock will be reset to
55.3.
55.3.
And then Stanford's clearing the glass, making sure it's a one-shot opportunity and going the other way, and then taking advantage of their half-court sets. So yes, turning the ball over has been a problem for Stanford tonight, but they're making up for it by taking quality shots on the other end.
Clock is reset there to 55.3. Gordon, good on the first. Amaria Gordon had that big shot to close out the first half. She's played well tonight. Had 22 points, make it 23 points.
Timeout called by the Cardinals.
Stanford will take a timeout. A 30-second timeout here. 55 seconds left. Up 84-78. And again, they did a nice job as of late, despite the turnovers throughout the night, on ball control, getting some second opportunities, and also really limiting Florida State. One more really clean possession here where they use a lot of time, and they could be home free.
You can imagine Brooke Wyckoff is trying to fight against that directly. I mean, they've got possession right now. Right now, Brooke Wyckoff is teaching her team, make sure you're getting on the glass. Just gesture to her team. Get on the offensive glass. Get some extra possessions. because that's the way you're going to make up for the time game right now.
Look at Coach Wyckoff has this team off to a 13-2 start. Staff was telling us pregame, it's a football school, obviously. Now into January, this is where a lot of folks start to pay attention to what's going on the basketball court. The excitement's starting to build, but they knew this would be tough. Coming to a place, cross-country trip, Stanford's so tough to beat here at home. A tie-up, the jump ball, and the arrow in favor of Stanford. Cardinal fans wanted a foul call there.
Aguirre turned right into the trap defense of Florida State, so it worked in their favor, putting their hands in the mix to make sure they get the jump ball. Didn't go their way. Of course, they just got the last possession. But again, just jumbles things up a little bit for Stanford.
Into Aguirre here, and a foul. Remember, Florida State has been over the limit, so free throws coming here.
Timpson called with the foul there. Sydney Bowles telling her, hey, calm down. It's all good. Let's just use our length, use our size, make things difficult. No need to foul. And it's true. All they want to do is make it difficult for Stanford to get the ball across the line or get anything set up in the half court.
Aguirre's first trip to the line tonight comes in 75%. Good on the first. A look at her night. Closing in on another double-double. And buries them both.
Big shots for Aguirre. She claps for her teammates. She knows that 2 free throws like that can be game clinching.
This is how you close out a big game. Conference play. Both coaches talked about the challenges of the ACC. Rick Wyckoff talking earlier this week about every game being so difficult in the ACC. They're all challenging. Stanford saw it when they had to go out east and the long trip and falling into a hole against SMU, then losing an OT against Clemson. Now Florida State coming out west here. And the shots weren't there early. They dug themselves a large hole. A valiant effort to climb out of it. They did start to find their stroke. But right now, 9 of 33 from beyond the arc.
When you think about Stanford having lost their last 2 games under 4 points and 3 points, this is great for them to be able to create some distance.
And Uwoye again.
I'm gonna get that girl a helmet. I am scared the way she comes down on the ground. Shot goes up by Latson, but man, look at that pull by Uwoye. Woo, tuck your neck, girl, tuck it.
You're rubbing the top of her head there. Hopefully she's feeling okay, and she is a gamer in every sense of the word.
Absolutely.
Just gets right up close and personal to make whatever her team needs happen. And that was Latson, by the way, firing that last shot. And again, this is an off night for her, 21 points. That's the standard that she has set.
Right. But she's made up for it in a lot of different ways, including the rebounds, getting some steals, pushing the pace for Florida State. Just hasn't been able to do that.
But Timpson follows and the foul with 35.6 seconds remaining. So she can make this a 5-point game.
Getting the ball up, but not quite finishing. But don't worry, you got the bouncy Timpson right behind you to clean things up on the glass.
Big free throw here. All good. 5-point lead. So again, Stanford falling time. They want to advance that basketball and not deal with full court pressure if they can help it from Florida State. 86-81. The Seminole team not going away just yet. And now they have to play who should we foul.
Right.
Look at Stanford and their free throw shooting.
It's who should we foul? How do we keep the clock down, right? Making sure you foul quickly so you can send someone to the line. Stanford okay right now on free throw shooting overall, so particularly might look at Uwoye. as a person to foul.
That'd be the one. She's 2 for 6. Everyone else has been pretty clean. See if Florida State thinks the same thing. Into Ijiwoye, and they give the foul. Second foul there on Latson, so free throws coming for Faye Ijiwoye.
Latson fouls Ijiwoye, immediately looks up at the clock to see how much time elapsed. Only 2 seconds. It's possible to get a 2-point possession, or excuse me, 2 possessions in this, but
first one, no good. The door remains slightly ajar here for Florida State.
I was going to say, it's a 2-possession game, but only if Ijiwoye doesn't make this last free throw.
Good on the second. So a 6-point game now. And Brooke Wyckoff will take a timeout.
2 threes in 33 seconds? I've seen crazier.
Oh, by far. Very, very doable. But can Florida State get that first 3 to go? It has been hit or miss here, quite literally, for the Seminoles. They had that strong run there in the third quarter where they knocked down 4 3-pointers, went 4 of 10. Otherwise, it's been a bit of a tough go. They were 3 for 6 in the second quarter as well. I guess the first and the fourth quarter is really where they've struggled from downtown.
Kate Page is telling her team, if you can read lips there, don't foul. And then also closing out with, it's our game, let's go.
Talked about that a lot, working on themselves, right? Not being so concerned with who the opponent is. Here's Latson, steps back for a 3. That's good! The leading scorer in the country knocks down a major triple to make this a 3-point game. And then a timeout at the last second called by Stanford.
Elena Vizgana hits her head as she goes over the screen. That's trailing. You don't want to leave a shooter like Tania Latson coming off the screen and you're trailing by going over. If she would have slipped that behind her teammate, she might have been able to come out on the other side. But you can't take that risk. You can't go under the screen against a Tania Latson. So she went over, but she was behind.
So same story as before. Defense look for a steal and then give the foul. You'd imagine they'll target Ijiwoye again. Latson looking to motivate her crew. Come in tied for first. It's early days in the ACC, but they were picked 5th in the preseason poll. Let's see where Stanford goes. 28.2 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Dimitri to inbound. Looking for someone else and not Ijiwoye, and that's a 5-second violation. They turn it over.
Florida State's defense winning this possession here. Unbelievable matchup. I mean, I was looking all over the court. You could not find an open Stanford player. They were doing everything to lose their defender.
And now a chance for the Seminoles to tie. Here's Latson, hard to the basket, scooping and couldn't hit. She wanted a foul call. And meanwhile, Florida State has to give the foul. Latson slow to get up. She went right to the basket instead of the 3-pointer. And now free throws coming.
Latson was anticipating the call, and that's what you don't want to do. Watch her drive, just puts the ball up. Thought she got some contact from Tess Heel early, so she puts the ball up looking for the shot and the foul. But she should have focused on the basket directly. That's a tough one.
And now Dimitri at the free throw line. Good on her first. Knew she was going to miss that second one, and that's a violation on Dimitri. She tried to follow her own shot real quick.
I've done that a few times. She's even laughing about it. She knows.
4-point game. And here's Latson. with Ichiwoye giving some pressure. Latson into the front court. The Gordon. Step back. Fading from three. Not there. Bozgana had a piece of the rebound and a whistle. And they'll get a foul against Florida State with 8.2 seconds left.
And how fitting of a call is this at the end of the game? Bozgana going to the O board to get a foul and end up on the line. This is what she's been doing all night. Is just crashing the glass, using her size to get great position underneath.
Bowles gives the foul. She's fouled out. Bozgana to the line. Back rim on the first.
And that's a big foul. And Sydney Bowles had some crafty moves all throughout the night and also was a big factor on defense. You're going to miss her on this offensive possession.
No timeouts left for Florida State. Good on the second is Bozgana. 5-point game. Ichiwoye, the giveaway, and Stanford can run out the clock. A turnover. The Seminoles frustrated. The Cardinal back in the win column. Their first win in ACC play.
Miscommunication on that last one between Mario Gordon and Tanaya Latson leads to the turnover. And Ichiwoye skipping around the court with the ball in her hands. What a finish by Stanford. Unbelievable play from start to finish, being locked in on offense, locked in on defense, using their size to outpower Florida State and overcome their frenetic energy.
That's pure elation from a team that had lost 5 of 6 and 3 in a row coming into the night. They are thrilled to be home. They stay perfect inside Maples, 9-0, and they defeat a very good Florida State team who suffers just their 3rd loss on the year. They fall to 13-3 and 3-1 in ACC play. Stanford, they spread the wealth. Here's that last giveaway. Florida State took care of the basketball most of the night. Only 6 turnovers to 18 for Stanford, but that last one seals it. And Ichiwoye, the spark plug in this victory that saw 4 different Cardinal players reach double figures. Dimitri, crucial, 24 points. Bozgana with 21, Aguirre with 17, and Heel with 14. More to come. We'll take a timeout and return after this. Welcome back. Stanford gets the win over Florida State, 89-84 for their first ACC victory. They snapped a 3-game losing skid, had lost 5 of 6. All that goes away. Elation for the Cardinal as they pick up the win. And one of the major reasons, joining us now, Elena Bozgana, a near triple-double. 21 points, 15 boards, 6 assists.
Oh.
But describe... Oh, you didn't realize.
Surprise!
I didn't know about the assist.
It turns out you played very well tonight.
There you go.
You hadn't heard. The joy that your teammates felt after that horn went off. Describe that for us.
I'm so proud of us. I mean, we've been struggling for the past month, but I think it shows who we are. We were positive all week long, and I'm just so proud of these girls, the coaching staff. Yeah, it was a great day for us.
It was amazing how quickly you guys pounced on Florida State, having that quick first start. What was that like to be able to lock in early in the game and get that consistency throughout?
I mean, we've been talking about starting better. I think in the past we didn't do a good job starting strong, but congrats to Kate for pushing us. And yeah, I don't know what to say.
Now, you knew from the scouting report Florida State could score the basketball.
Yeah.
They have the best scorer in the country. They have an offense that scores 95 a game.
Yeah.
You knew they wouldn't quit. How did your defense hold them down when they kept making run after run in the second half?
I mean, you said it. They have the best scorer in the NCAA right now. We had to be locked in. It wasn't just one person guarding her. It was like the entire team. And yeah, we made it. I have nothing else to say.
Well, I want you to be able to celebrate with your teammates, but what is the thing you're going to be able to take away from this game going into the ACC to continue battle?
I think we're fighters. I think people expect nothing from us, but that doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. I think we're going to keep playing. We're going to keep getting better and keep winning.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, we have to ask you one last thing. Zena noted, every time you knock down a 3, you give a little clap. Where did the Elena clap come from?
I just say good job to myself, I guess.
There you go. You got to pump yourself up.
Yeah.
I love it.
Positive
We'll go
reinforcement.
celebrate.
Well done.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Congrats on the victory. Elena Bozgana, thrilled That's true happiness right there, Zena.
True. I mean, she literally kept saying, I don't know what else to say. I'm just so excited. And sometimes when you've been feeling down, you go into practice, everything's tough. Everything's about the mistakes that you've made. To be able to finally see them come to fruition and see the things turn around out on the basketball court with your girls, it feels really good.
Stanford, all the good feelings after this win tonight. They built a giant lead. They went up by as many as 17. They saw Florida State, a talented squad, battle back, got to within 1, but the Cardinal held on. They never relinquished that lead late, and were able to pick up a key victory early in the ACC slate. That is going to do it for us here tonight from Maples. For our entire crew, for my partner Zena Cada, Greg Mesko saying thanks so much for joining us, where Stanford wins it over Florida State 89-84. Have a great rest of your night.